I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich, okay? We need to get out there, use your weapons, and rip Washington apart.
Good morning, everyone. It's August 26, 2018. I'm Eric. I'm here at journal-neo.org. America, the Tyranny of the Stupid is the title. Gordon Duff is the author. It's a good article, and it talks about how stupid the American people and politicians are. So, this is a topic near and dear to my heart. The stupidity of those who surround me. And you can bear witness to the stupidity in traffic when a person can't make a decision of their own. They're relying on signs and lights to tell them what to do. You can see this at work when your coworker has been there for, a year or more, and they're still asking the same stupid fucking questions that they were asking the first week. You can bear witness to this every time you hear most people speak. So people around the world are convinced that the United States is a nation run by criminal psychopaths and morons. A greater fear is that world leaders mistakenly assume their American counterparts, who do and say insane things continually, are in actuality normal people operating inside some master plan. Then, when time and time again no such plan materializes, and it is demonstrated that America has blundered into a diplomatic, economic, or military morass, for some unknown reason, a reset occurs, and the wrong assumptions are once again made. At every level, humanity errs in assuming that those in command are there because of talent and worth, or that because America is so wealthy and powerful that its people are such because of moral and intellectual superiority. And blind acceptance of exceptionalism is in itself a dangerous disease. If you ask the average American what their IQ is, they are quick to answer. Invariably, they will say 140 or more. Yet, when you look at American society, at America's culture, the idea of a nation of Mensa types is unrealistic. Americans aren't much more stupid than other people, just more dangerous. The truth is, the average American has an IQ of around 96. It used to be 100, the number established as a mean. About 40% of Americans run between 60 and 85, enough to function at basic levels, but with intelligence low enough to impair higher functions such as judgment, and critical reasoning. This is where the real problem is. Of that 40%, a significant number graduate from universities and of those who come from higher socioeconomic backgrounds, like those with inherited money, they get not just Ivy League degrees, but often make it through diploma mill fake graduate programs at Wharton School of Business, Yale, and Harvard. And when I was going to college, certain groups of people, they were given a free pass on most of the conditions it took to pass or graduate. A lot of these people couldn't even read aloud. So, and while other people, like myself, we were expected to create well thought out and written projects, while those other people, they got not the same grade, but they got a passing grade when they should not have. So, these university diplomas do not mean nearly as much as they did, say, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, because people are just allowed to pass based on their race. And, by the way, when that happens, it makes the value of that diploma you got, even if it is from Yale or Oxford or Cambridge, it puts in question the value of that diploma, even for those who worked hard and did meticulous work on their projects. So, when it comes to playing in America, is the manner those of limited capability are channeled into military command, into government, into teaching positions, even in universities, and into the White House itself. The real talent, brilliance, as it were, is replaced by cleverness and even various forms of moral deficiency on the spectrum of psychopathy. When the world watches America on the bus to Crazy Town, it is always assumed that the worst, even if that worst is true, must be denied, rationalized away. Even in America itself, those of talent, out of a need to simply turn away from an unpleasant truth, too often look for any sign that psychopathic morons in government and the military, or worse still, controlling social media giants and tech companies, are normal. None of these peoples are normal. They are pedophiles. They are psychopathic, among other things. And they should not be trusted with our lives or the lives of our children. None of them. They are not normal people. This form of denial, normalizing the abnormal, exalting the idiot, mistaking clownishness for hidden genius, very hidden genius, is in itself a disease, a weakness, a failing, and a threat to the survival of the human species. It is no secret that the world itself, and certainly the United States, is ruled by economic elites whose positions are entirely inherited. Elites with a stranglehold on political and economic life. Their origins, the banking families of Europe's Middle Ages, or the robber barons of the 19th century, perhaps the shipping families that carried opium and slaves. Those and more have left America with an elite ruling class that has long demonstrated moral depravity. Through social manipulation, this group that controlled the eugenics movement during the 20s and 30s has learned that they don't need to use selective breeding to create slaves, but that it can be done through the education system, which they control through foundations and think tanks. And that's why you get things like Common Core and No Kid Left Behind, or Child rather, and these things never work, do they? All they do is lower the bar. Let's say, for example, this No Child Left Behind shit. Instead of it not leaving any children behind, what it actually did was lowered the bar for the minority students, people of color, and white people as well. And instead of making the people of color smarter, they elected to make everyone dumber through these programs. For example, my daughter, she's in 2nd grade. We homeschool. And there's still a curriculum in homeschooling. So when we're doing the math, they want you to do things like create groups of 10 to add numbers, when you could just add the two numbers together and get the answer. It's fucking, these education systems are fucking with the minds of the people who understand how to do it in the first place. They dumb it down so that all the other people can somewhat understand it, but at the same time, it confuses those who understand how to do math the normal way. To an extent, it is demonstrable that the Nazi reign of terror was financed and engineered by America's elites. The Bush, Harmon, Rockefeller, Farish, and Walker families partnered with Hitler and I.G. Farben. Auschwitz was one of their efforts, and what began as eugenics became mass murder under Hitler, only to reappear as Google and Facebook decades later. In Between Foundations wrote history, recreated a dumbed-down education system and society. In American government, Congress walled itself in with rules that stifled change and debate, gave all control of the few committee heads from remote and backwards districts who rule America on behalf of ruling elites, or who have ruled America on behalf of ruling elites for generations. And they've been, not just America, these same families have been ruling over all the various countries for centuries. Key to keeping it all working has been the re-engineering of every institution to favor the moral flexibility of limited intelligence, a nation of semi-literate legislators, doctors, judges, law enforcement officials, college professors, admirals, and generals, and even captains of industry. The result has been 50 years of declining wages, lowered life expectancy, and this is despite scientific advances. A society at war with itself, radicalized, superstitious, and easily controlled. Fostering all of it is the general human weakness of denialism, the need to ignore seemingly unsurmountable challenges when simply going along with the program allows for survival, and where being part of the problem can offer great rewards. Behind it all is the fake narrative, an endless droning of jingoism and phony patriotism, of exceptionalism, and behind that is always fear. To an extent, technology itself is the enemy. A century ago, when America was a burgeoning industrial giant, teeming millions worked in factories. The hierarchy there wasn't so much factory owners or thuggish supervisors. Ford Motor Company actually hired violent felons to oversee workers. It took real talent, even brilliance, to design tools, create innovations, improve processes, all of which was done by real elites among the working classes. Whoever may have thought they were in charge without tool and die makers, nothing happened. You see how they kind of fuck up the sentences here? That didn't make any sense, did it? It took real talent, even brilliance, to design tools, create innovations, improve processes, all of which was done by real elites among the working classes. Whoever may have thought they were in charge without a tool, see, it's kind of an incomplete sentence. With all that gone, CAD systems, robotics, a world of devices and apps in America with fake universities giving out fake degrees, a military that passes out fake medals to fake heroes by the score who fought equally fake wars. Whatever remained of a natural elite, an offset, as it were, has disappeared. And they're talking about, not when they say natural elite, they're talking about smart people. And we're, getting dumber and dumber by the year. And I'm really trying to give my children an edge over everyone else who is continually being dumped down. By the mid-1970s, under the guise of creating opportunities for minorities, the bar was lowered, allowing the least talented to rise, and the potentially threatening few of capability to be contained and stifled. This wasn't by accident and had absolutely nothing to do with opportunity or equality. No, it had to do with making everyone else dumb and containing those people who can work through most of the problems we face. The reality: a Congress where an IQ of 70 is not unheard of, military academies where psychopathic behavior is promoted, and those who exhibit the most deviant tendencies are fast-tracked to command. Journalism and its partner industry, entertainment, is so much worse. None of it was done by accident. Nope, it wasn't. with programs like No Child Left Behind, Common Core, among others, we're doomed to slip into first mediocrity and then nothing. So, I hope everyone has a good day. Kill the state, live free.